everybody's in group chats, asking people questions. You know, we have all of our information now being dialed in on the leadership side of the team.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we're going to be moving forward very, very rapidly in a different approach. And it's going to, you know, help more people earn more Bitcoin during the time that they're with TCC. So I want people to kind of get into that. You know, we're not hearing a lot from the company itself, but you will hear a lot from the people who are the leaders who are trying to do reconnaissance and effectively communicate with each other, you know, go into the top 20 and try to get some questions answered, then go specifically to other, and all of that takes time, and all of that takes, you know, effort, and all of that takes understanding and asking the right questions. And so, you know, here for our team in this Facebook group, until everybody's on WaveScore and in a group there, we are going to have a broadcasting system, because time management is so key. And if we're not making videos readily available for people to come back and look at, or, you know, accessibility to talking with some of the leaders who can troubleshoot with you, because there are many that can do that. And at the same time, there's a lot of people who haven't even logged into their back office in a while. So all that being said, I want people to kind of get into that mindset of, this is going to be where you're going to get your information if you're on the team. And the way that the group is, you know, going to be is, it's a broadcasting system. It's a training facility. It's a forum, but it's not for questions on the comments. And it's not, that's what you get when you get into training. That's what you'll see like Antonio doing. You'll see, you know, all of us will be doing kind of like Grant Cardone does, right? We get on and we just show you what we do in real time, so that you can see that it takes work, right? It takes being proactive and being consistent and being diligent to be able to practice becoming really great. Yet, you know, most people don't train people in that manner. And as you guys know, with the US, it's a very challenging obstacle to have to face. Yet, victory is in the decentralization of everything. So, you know, as we continue to persevere and move forward, and people are winning, they will look and reflect and go, oh my gosh, you know, this was probably the best choice I ever made. But I have to understand it, right? But also I have to, before understanding it, you might want to start by listening first, and listening to the direction, listening to where the vision is going. There's always a way to troubleshoot something. Nothing is ever impossible. So if people realize that, and they have patience, and they don't freak out, right? Then guess what happens? They're going to be more in a receptive mindset to hear the answer, because ultimately, we want to go forward. Nobody in their right mind chooses to go backward intentionally.
Nope.
Nobody.
That's right.
Nobody. Right? Nobody, after hearing in a way that it's communicated and it's explained appropriately, in a way that helps guide people, not manipulate people, but guide people, and then have the next set of steps, instead of saying, you got to do this and you got to do that and freak everybody out. No. No. Please stop communicating to the network.
I know. God.
So, you know, we like to have people who are conscious around us. We like to have people who are moving in that direction forward. We like to have people surrounding us. You know, we've always learned that, you know, you're the 5 people that you hang around with most. And in that's in what I've learned in self-development. And then I've also learned, you know, the higher your frequency, other people's frequency can be magnified. And the higher more people's frequency is, the more love, the more kindness, the more energy, the more thoughtfulness that goes into providing clarity to people who are wanting answers, right? You can't just go, oh my God, I just got this email. What's the answer? It's like, dude, I found out when you found out. Right?
Yeah, I'm out there.
You know, people are like, hey, are you okay? Oh, hold on a second. There's Antonio. Because our team is wise. Our team is smart. The leaders on our team, the small batch of, hey, what? You're not on the thing, dude. You're not on the thing. Dude, like I said, 1.5 hours from this time currently. Yep, you better get on. You better get on. You got 4 minutes, homie. And For the people that I do get to work with, Thaddeus is one of them, Carolyn, Marianne and I are going to be working really close, but I used to work with Marianne more often. You know, the people, John, you know, all of us, for some reason, have this abundance mindset and ability to communicate with each other where it's always loving and compassionate and kind, even though it's challenging, right? It's challenging to run a freaking business. Anybody spent $40 million on their own business? No, you don't really understand what it takes to say, oh yeah, I want to build a network marketing company. Shoot me in the head. Okay.
Right.
Because there's so many challenges, but this one, like, it made sense to me. But I think it's also a good thing that these guys don't know how to speak English very well.
Yeah. No shit. I ain't saying
You
no.
know, and it allows us to really like go, okay, how do I challenge myself? I don't join a scam. I never would want to put my people in a scam, right? The worst thing that people can do is think it's a scam and then go talk about it, but they don't have any validation of their information. They're not talking kindly. I mean, I've had people tell me, fuck you, bitch. Okay, like for suggesting they didn't, okay, so they didn't understand why the withdrawals were taking so long. Everyone knows that there were 2 different forks that happened. Okay, we all know that. And that confirmations were slowed down. We shared these thoughts, right? So I said, hey, can you please go to the blockchain, go look on the blockchain and what the blockchain is about, what's happening on the blockchain, so that she would learn something. And in front of like 200 people in a group text, she's cussing at me and swearing at me on my way home from Thailand. So I removed myself out of the group because I will not be abused by anybody.
No.
Period. No one deserves to be abused. Definitely people should get answers and clarity, but no one should be abused. Right. So it's hard though when you're tested at that moment because you want to go.
Right.
But you sit there, you pray, right? And I'm going to encourage everybody to meditate. I've been a meditator for 4 years and a manifester. Okay. And this is what I can tell you. Those with the mindset of consistently pursuing happiness, those with the mindset of creating their life, even though challenges happen and updates that are like, whoa, what just happened, right? The people who have a spirit of just staying calm and saying, okay, you know what? I trusted in this decision that I made. Okay. I'm continue learning about it after the fact. Okay. Things like this might happen, right? Things like this might happen. It's not the first time that a company put up, had to take the USA off. Why? Why is that? That's the answer. That's the thing you have to go do to Google. That's the thing that you go Google. Why would a company do that? Okay, so I'm in BitClub Network. I'm not building it. That's where I learned about mining, and I've done great. Okay, I'm not building a team, but guess what? I put in Bitcoin. I understood mining. It wasn't something that I wanted to help people understand then, but I've earned back. Right? How can we not be happy about simple things like that? That is, you put Bitcoin in when Bitcoin was lower than the value that it is now. It took all of us to believe that transactions are going to go through and more funding was going to come up. This team alone, you guys would be shocked at how much volume has been moved on the market cap. Team Mega is outstanding for the people who get it, for the people who are proactive, for the people who are going, okay, well, my life is, I want to do more work now so that I can have more life sooner.
Yes.
Right? And you have other people who are like, oh man, I just want a passive income and an investment. It's just like, dude, no. If a millionaire, I have somebody put in 145 Bitcoin when they renewed, okay? If that person is going out and building a membership, you should be too.
Right.
You should be too.
Wow.
So, we look at things with precision. We look at things with vision. And when I got into TCC, I didn't know any of these owners. I never had to market the company. People join through people. People join through people. People join through people. Join through people. Right? And the only ones that I could manage, because I have 24 hours in a day, just like everybody else here, were the ones that were healthy, were the ones that were continuously growing. I would always go back and, okay, I'll try to help submit whatever I can, whatever gets taken care of. I know stuff gets taken care of, and I know some doesn't get taken care of, but isn't that a real business?
That's how it works.
That's how it works. And over time, more things get taken care of if people aren't going crazy, right?
Right. Priorities
And
on the list.
so that brings us to, what time is it?
It is
Time to
Eastern time,
roll.
2:03.
Okay.
3 minutes in.
3 more minutes, or
No, we're in. We're
Oh,
in.
we're in?
Get in for 3 minutes.
Okay, cool. Now look, people are commenting me on my wall on Facebook.
Yes, I should check it. Oh, there's 24 people I need to let in. I need to get on the job.
Get in the job, man. Get in the job.
I didn't even look. I'm sorry, peoples.
Okay. I'm sure that most people will hop on, it'll keep on going up over the next 5 to 10 minutes. That's normal behavior pattern if you announce it,
Right. Thank you.
Tony! Oh, we got to bring Tony up. What up, Tony?
All right. Getting them in. Phone's ringing. A lot going on here.
Look at Chris Sizemore. What's up, Chris?
Hey, how's it going?
What up, skinny guy?
Only 18 more to go.
18 more to go. Let's go. What's up, Justin?
Losing weight, but living large.
There you go. I love it. I love it.
What's up, Jason? Hi, Paul. Hi, Sanya. Hi,
Chris
Tina.
size less. I love it.
That's right.
What's up, Brian? Hi, Patrick. What's up, Rigo? Hi, Ingrid. I know that's you, Ultra Bella. Who else we got up on here? Oh, I gotta make this screen.
Like
Clay, I love you.
I love you too, Justin.
Definitely a lot of love around here, no doubt.
Thaddeus, I love you too, Thaddeus. I'm loving the
love
hair.
you guys too, man. We are family. I can't wait to see all of y'all in person when we hanging out in Hawaii doing our thing.
All right. All right. Who else is in here?
Oh, we got it.
Welcome. Sammy, what's up? Hi, Patrick.
I am unmuting everybody, giving you an opportunity to say hi.
Say hi to everybody, you guys.
Well, hello, Kelly. I'm Adam Abraham. Haven't met you, but it's a pleasure to hear you and see you.
Nice to meet you, Adam. I like your background.
Thank you.
We could probably use somebody to monitor the Team Mega Facebook page because we are live in there as well.
Okay.
Can you? I think Carol's going to do that.
Okay, so she's going to monitor comments and things of that nature, right? Okay. Thank you, Carol. So you guys, you can see that this is a real big show, right?
Real big. Real big.
To orchestrate everybody, to get everybody on, and to updates and advancements and celebrate with a lot of people who are having victory and more people to come having more victories. So good morning, everyone. Calais Taylor here, known as the Bitcoin Queen or Bitcoin Calais. And first of all, I just want to say thank you for everyone of the members in all areas of the world. It has been a true blessing to solidify relationships, build healthy and strong, watch people's lives get changed from this platform, and to see so much excitement continually being pursued. And it's also very, it's very good that we start getting on and we give updates based on what we know and what we're understanding. And, that's what I love about people. And I love people who are tapped in. Hey, Thaddeus, can you mute everybody else out for now?
Yes. Guys, please mute yourselves. And I'm going to go through and mute everybody too.
I'll wait.
Okay. Now I'm going to unmute you. There we go.
All right, cool.
Nice.
All right, awesome. Okay.
It worked well. I'm
go.
surprised it worked so easy. Okay. Yes. Okay.
All right. Okay, so let's let's talk about everything that's going on right now. I want to share a little bit about life and what's happening and, where really this journey has taken us. And then I'm going to, hey, Alberto, and then I'm going to talk about the updates and the direction of what the leadership is doing based on what we understand what's going on with the company. Because I think that's fair and I think it's just and I think it's an appropriate, place to have this conversation. So like I was saying earlier, Thaddeus is going to, number one, please do not share this video outside of TCCT Mega. This is the only place where this video should be shared. Everyone who has team members who want to be updated, TCCT Mega until Wave Score, we have all of our groups there. We're going to use this on Facebook to be able to communicate like a broadcasting system. And then there's going to be, replays that people can see and they can go through. The group is not for questions on comments, okay? The group is, when we have these types of trainings, which we will have, people can get on and then we can troubleshoot because we are going to want to show people how we troubleshoot questions. A lot of people can't go through their back office and look at it and analyze it like an expert can. And there's some of us like Antonio who can probably just pop on really quickly. And this is something that you got to think that when questions come in, we have to be very clear when we're going to support because these people don't really see your back office, right? But that's okay, moving forward. What we are gonna see is more lives changed. We're going to see more people. I mean, how many of you are liking Bitcoin right now? By just a show of hands, what's happening? Can I get a thumbs up? Right.
Absolutely.
It is very, very exciting. And, a lot of us are being relied upon to help give you and disseminate the information to you. There are some people who just don't know how to communicate, okay? And there are some people who, instead of just reacting to what's going on, they stay calm. They stay in a mindset of, okay, we want to solve problems. What's the solution to what's happening right now, okay? And then instead of just reacting or giving an answer that you're not clear on or you don't know how to answer it, it's better to not answer it. Just say, I don't know yet. Hey, I'm doing some reconnaissance on this. So over the last 48 hours, that's kind of what I do, right? I go back and I talk to all the leaders from the countries in the top 20, right? And then I also talk to the leaders within the Team Mega team. And then I'm still troubleshooting for the other team members who need troubleshooting. But all in all, we find out answers in a way that we can communicate it to the audience that's listening. And the ones that are listening right now are the ones that are in receptive mode. They want to hear the information. They've seen this company do amazing things with their Bitcoin. I mean, Chris Sizemore just had a deal. Congratulations, right, Chris? Substantial, right? I have people who are apprentices that I know never would have had Bitcoin had it not been for this group of people who went to go talk to them about Bitcoin. And because we were the banks, per se, of our network, we were able to solidify them to get more Bitcoin, leveraging our Bitcoin to help more people. So I watched and exchanged because I was licensed under an umbrella in Seattle until a law came out, right? And then I stopped. But imagine putting back in 500 coins back to your team so that they could win, so that they could get Bitcoin. That's a lot, right? But nobody had Bitcoin that was worth $14,000 in January, February, March, April, May, June. So all of us that came in after this fact, we had to believe in Bitcoin. Initially, you come in, it's all skeptical, unless you were already a believer. But you didn't believe it was going to be 14,000 by the end of the year. You were still going, is it going to get to 2,000? And boy, by golly, sure did it did, right? And we all know, we're here today knowing it's believing that Bitcoin's going to continue to go up. We're talking about 4 years down the road. We're talking about 2 years down the road. We're talking about it never having a bubble, right? For the people who've been around long enough. Right? We know it's going to go up in value. So of course, when people continue to exchange Bitcoin, cash into Bitcoin, or some of these other currencies into Bitcoin, they have to remember what the date was when they started their belief system. And then for us, if you really want to win, you're going to grow something that earns you commissions. You'd be stupid not to. Because if you're hanging by a thread now and you're not working hard, which is called proof of work, you're not going to get to the destination unless you get super duper lucky. You're not. So you have to think clearly like a successful business person. You have to not trip out every time something, just slight nuances happen. And you're like, oh my God, I don't know, Captain. And then blowing up everybody's phone. Just relax 1 second. Come back to TCCT Mega. There'll be announcements being made. Okay? That's how we do this. We want everybody to be in a kind spirit when we're in the group. I was in the Nigerian WhatsApp chat yesterday. They needed guidance, okay? Because they don't know. But at the same time, people who don't know should just shut up. That's what you should do. Because you're speaking out of ignorance. And then what happens is it causes distension and it causes rumors to happen. But then I have proof. I have facts of people who started at 0.30 Bitcoin and have earned passively more than they put in. I have proof that people are making withdrawals. I have proof. So all these good people that are doing and they're winning, the last thing that you want them to do is start losing because of your attitude. Your attitude and how you determine how you respond to the things that are shocking or challenge or a surprise is going to be an indicator of your integrity and also your character. Believe me, sometimes I do want to freak out at people, right? But I listen to Abraham Hicks. Why? Because I know that I need patience. And guess what? It's free. Everybody can listen to it too. Because everybody else is going to need patience. When you grow an empire, it's not easy. And when most people grow, they don't grow empires, they grow barely. And as a result of that, they're not inspired, they're not motivated on their own constantly. So you have to constantly inspire yourself by looking at all the good things that are happening in your life and in the account, because there are too many good things for people to dispute. How can you say you didn't make money? That's a fallacy. You made money. If you withdrew your money early and you didn't pay your taxes, what the heck? What the heck? What do you think that you're going to overdraw at your bank and your bank's going to go say, hey, you know what? You just overdrew. We're waiting for you to pay us back. But here's another $50,000 that you requested imaginarily. No, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. But for us as leaders, yes, we have to be able to communicate as best as we can. That's why we join people. So we join people. That's why we join people. If the company's not going to communicate, I'm not worried about them. I can see what they're doing in the top 20 chat. I can communicate to my team. The worst that I would ever want is for something to go down and crash after I got 40,000 people in my team. Is that responsible? Probably. Right? You got people making money. The worst thing that you can do is go back in and start attacking everything and destroying everything and putting rumors out there. And, oh my God, no, you are the leader that have to go through the challenges. You're the leader that has to take one for the team sometimes. And sometimes it's way more than just one time. Right? You're the one that has to uphold and say, okay, you know what? I might not have the answer now, but I'm going to find that answer. And I'm going to figure out that answer. And I'm going to get back to you. It might take, Chris knows, it took 3 days for something to get answered. All of a sudden it populated. And sometimes that happens because if you're getting 20,000 support tickets and you're only answering 3,000 a day, what do you think? It takes time to get to the rest of them. Okay, so this is all really good because it's all infancy stages of a company. And let me tell you about how my life has transitioned and why I believe that I've always believed that I've never is going to join a scam. And I've always believed that if you build it, they will come. Two philosophies. If you build it, they will come. So I've never given up on any of my projects. A lot of you know me from different stuff that are still working and hasn't crashed. Right? But we're not working on those things. We're working on a team building thing where Bitcoin is king. So that you can have more in a shorter period of time, like Chris, like Thaddeus, like Carolyn, like John. I mean, the list goes down. There's a bunch of people in the Philippines. There's a lot. Okay, so when I started, because I believed in Bitcoin, and I believed in cryptography, and I believe in decentralization, and I believe in sovereignty, and I believe I have my own authority and jurisdiction to speak commonly and properly to people, it was going to be a way for people to be able to receive the information that they needed and to move forward with solutions. That's one of the reasons I really like working with Tony. Tony is tenured. He's been around the industry for a long time. He's seen people get dragged out of rooms because, you know, he's seen this thing. He's witnessed this type of stuff, right? And other people have heard about this type of stuff or witnessed this type of stuff. Nobody wants anyone to get hurt. Nobody wants anyone the worst for anybody else. You have to be and you have to constantly stay up to date about what's happening. And then you have to figure out how you're going to decide on what you're going to do, because that system is giving you what appears to be choices that you guys will have to make. And that's essentially what we all do on a day-to-day basis, right? What is our value? What risk are we willing to take? What risk are we not willing to take? Are we okay to separate and part ways with some of these things? If not now, if not for good, then maybe temporarily. Can we come back with a different strategy to help more people? Yes, yes. The answer is going to always be yes, 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 if you're in solution-based mode. And over the last time that I've been at home, so about 3 months now, okay? I don't know how this happened, okay? I don't know. All I heard was God tell me to come home, and I came home, okay? And believe me, you guys, I believe I'm saved, so I walk in my own spirit with God, okay? But I came home because I heard God tell me to come home. I was supposed to be traveling to all of the markets to go and build TCC, and I listened to God. And when I came home, I realized through my lineage, I am of Hawaiian monarch descent, okay? But not just that, I realized that the nation has already been established and built. And I thought to myself, how do I help go into purpose with my people? People, we're all attached to each other. We know each other through somebody else. So I had to stay here and now help to run a country and still figure out how to help our team members. Could you imagine running a country, developing a government or a nation that accepts cryptocurrency, that has its own cryptocurrency, that points to justification and justice through an overthrow of our queen and the genocide of Hawaiians? Crazy, right? But imagine being able to set it up where we can accept passport. You can come and get a passport here, like you can in Vanuatu or you can in Puerto Rico. You could get dual citizenship suddenly. Crazy, right? I didn't know that was going to happen, but that's the situation that I'm sitting in now, which is really great because of all the modifications that are happening. So now flash forward, I come here, you know, I'm in the middle of closing a house, okay, that we're going to create a reality TV show on, multiple reality TV shows on. Some of you have already been invited out. Who wants to have some fun? Right? Trisha's like, yes, girl. Right? And that's the whole thing, is we live by proof. People will not question us if we live by proof. And that's why I talk to people about branding themselves, branding themselves, branding themselves, branding your beliefs, not in the point where it's destructive, but to the point where you're just kind of subtle about it. And it's repetitious over time, and it's consistent over time. And that's what builds your relationships, and it makes it stronger. And then when you're having a conversation, if things happen, you know, within a reasonable amount of time, your relationships keep on developing, being stronger. That's the beautiful thing about the blockchain and peer-to-peer and being able to do something like this in a decentralized space, right? Everybody is probably going to want to get VPNs. I'm not saying that you have to, but I'm saying that everybody is probably going to want to do that based on all the shenanigans coming in 2018, because there will be some. We've already seen some of them in the articles that they're putting up, and there's a lot of positive stuff too, and that's why we keep going, right? But there's going to be a lot of shenanigans that come out. I read an article the other day where they're going to try to tell everybody that they're going to have to claim what's in their decentralized wallets. If there's probably going to be billionaires who don't claim, why would people with $10 claim? They're the ones that needed more. I mean, just think about these things that in these belief systems that we put in, and why we're working so hard to continue to expand the Bitcoin, the blockchain, the peer-to-peer movement, the trust between people versus FDIC, banks, And guess what? They're all adapting because they know they cannot stop it. They cannot stop it. That's just the truth about it. They cannot stop it. And aren't we glad that they can't? Aren't we glad that they can? Right? Aren't we glad that we get to do what we want to do? None of us are laundering money. Lives are being blessed. But they're going to try to say you're doing stuff like that. And I'm going to be right there saying, let me see, all these statutes, these don't even make sense. These people don't even understand it. Right? And then you guys will stop, you just ignore them. Just like you get ignored. And all of a sudden the paperwork falls up at your door. And you go like this, my bond against me. Okay, this is all the stuff that I've like had to learn over the last 4 years. Because you had to be practiced. You had to become smarter than they were. Right? And then now I'm moving into the house and all these good things are happening. And yes, and you know, I thank all of you guys for being a part of what makes that happen at TCC. Because the system keeps on paying out daily, right? They're modifying some stuff. That's okay. It's okay that the companies, hey, you got to protect a majority of the people, right? So let's talk about that. So as you guys know, in the last 48 hours, some of you got emails. And of course, they were not clear English. Just saying. And some of it kind of startled you until you realized that you could go and log back into your account because there was no date given. So in doing some research for everybody, I found out that when Antonio and I were training, we had our own breakout session in Thailand. During the meeting that, you know, I was invited to, I missed a part of the meeting. And apparently this was discussed in the meeting. And so all new registrations from the United States would not register, okay? So I missed that. So for me, I'm sorry. I didn't know, or else I would have made an update in that group. The second thing is that there was an email sent to people who were existing members in the United States and were told that their accounts were suspended. So their accounts are not suspended. Okay, you can go ahead and log into your back office, and if you have dual citizenship or a different address, you need to change the address. Okay. In doing so, this is not like the first company that's done this. Okay. Big Club Network did the same thing because they had 91% of TCC members are in international waters. Okay, 91% right now. So, you know, with the SEC doing what they're doing with, you know, all this, you know, look what just happened with Bittrex, accounts were closed and blocked. They're going to try to do stuff like this to scare people, right? And I know of people who they understand what a VPN is. You guys use your discretion, okay? But use your discretion, research it. Other people are going to make videos to show you guys how to download, like Antonio said he'd make one. That way you guys, in case you guys need a video tutorial on how to do that and why he recommends it, he's not afraid to share a video and think that he's going to be in dire straits because we do it. But, you know, it's something that other people in the past have had to think about. And I see in, you know, other companies that have, you know, stated clearly that they don't register in the US, they're still signing up, you know. Other people are going to make a decision whether they want to join these things or not. Okay, that's not up to me, and that's not up to you. Go ahead, Antonio. You want to add something?
And let me say very clearly that it is a marvelous day. Marvelous day. Let me just say that first and foremost. Criticize how you guys doing. I am in love with Thursdays, you guys. I hate to tell this to you. I know a lot of people have been boo-hooing the last 24 hours, but let me tell you something. God is good. When we have our hands on with this, we are in the midst of a perfect storm. So first of all, let me just say, first of all, you have to put our hands together for our fearless leader. Let me tell you something. It takes kahunas to be out on the front of this thing. Are you with me? Let me tell you guys something, man. The force is with us on this. if Bitcoin was not so powerful, you would not have the amount of morons in some of these financial institutions, some of the buffoons that are running some of these banks, running around trying to tell you that Bitcoin is not going to work. In fact, I believe that today, Calais, that more bankers lost sleep than ever in history. I kid you not, because I know some of these guys. Listen, my mentor worked on Wall Street. He just died. He passed like 2 weeks ago. He was in the top 10 bankers in the world. And even he told me himself that he knew for a fact that people were nervous about Bitcoin. Let me tell you what's powerful about this. The people are getting all of the power transferred back to them. That's what's powerful, right? This is all about control metrics, right? Now, the company is having to reposition some things because they do understand that you're dealing with powerful forces. When you're dealing with banking institutions that are trying to maintain power, you have to understand something. They're going to do every single thing that they can think of to try to put all kinds of monkey wrenches in there to block you from being able to have access to these cryptocurrencies, whether that be trying to block your wallets, where they try to make it seem as though you're under some kind of threat, you know, if you want to actually be able to even deal with cryptocurrencies. That's where the fear factor comes in at. But the bottom line is the people rule everything, which you can see that in the value of the coin the way this is running right now. And let me tell you something. When this coin runs onto the futures market in a couple of days, because it's going to happen on the 17th, when that happens, the whole game's going to change. Most people will never be able to afford one Bitcoin, not one. They'll never be able to possess one, right? So we're in a fantastic opportunity where we're in a unique position to be able to earn in Bitcoin. There's a lot of platforms out here, don't get me wrong. But to be able to earn in Bitcoin, that's like having your own supercharged ATM machine running every day for you. Some of you are in this, but you don't understand what you're in. Some of you are hearing us, but you're not listening. What we have to do is we have to figure out how to work inside the system to keep the party going. Because what's going to happen is if we don't figure out ways to work in the capacity of continuing to earn Bitcoin, then all of the people lose. Not just us, but the people who have a hope and a dream of getting free from these crooked bankers and these dirty banking institutions that will hold your money, trade and make money off of your money, deny you a loan, and then charge you for a bank account. They'll charge you to have a bank account with your own money and then go and trade your money and come back and smile in your face in the branch and say, your credit's just not good enough. We just can't give you a loan on that house for you and your family. Oh, you need a car? You need a loan for a car? We know you bank with us for 20 years, but there's that one little thing in your credit report, and we just don't know if we trust you, you know? You owe $25 on a credit card bill from 30 years ago that shouldn't even be on it anyway. But we're going to do everything we can to block you unless you're perfect, you see? And the bankers have been doing this for years. So of course they're going to wake up today when people are pulling money from these dirty institutions and deciding to acquire some crypto for themselves, put it on their own device, have it in their own possession, control where they come and go, where they spend their Bitcoin or whatever cryptocurrency they're dealing with. This is what must be maintained. So a lot of people think this is all about the program, but let me tell you something, this is way bigger than we're talking about right now. What we're talking about is freedom. You understand? And you can't even put a price on that right now. So whatever the company has to do to maintain is what I'm all for. Because I'm looking at the big picture. Calais looking at the big picture, right? It doesn't matter how you feel. It's about seeing the future and understanding the future. You understand? You have to understand that this is going to happen with or without us. It's going to happen. The cat is out of the bag. And even the government institutions will try to slow it down. But what happens when you try to restrict people from things, they do it more. That's just the way that it is. And some of you know that being parents. Listen, I got a 20-year-old son. I tell him, you know what? Don't go in that room right there. That room is not for you. It's locked. What does he do, Chris, as soon as you leave out? He goes and he sneaks in the room. Because there's the mysticism that people are in love with crypto, baby. It's the mysticism. You're telling people don't buy. The minute Jamie Dimon ran his mouth saying that don't buy crypto, Bitcoins are scam. Price dipped like 20%. But guess what? Skyrocketed back the same day. Next day, it shot up another 10, 15%. So you got to know that whatever it is, don't let anybody tell you whether it's going to be Ponzi schemes or all this other shenanigans. Let me tell you something. What we have our hand on right now with this, let no man on the planet disturb. That's my motto right now. And some people just got to come out on Front Street to defend people who can't defend themselves. Some of you are in this, you've been able to understand how powerful it is for you to have any Satoshi at all right now. But because it's in a limited supply, most people would never, ever possess any. This is bigger than gold. It's bigger than everything. It's bigger than the internet. So we have to make sure that we're covering all of the bases. Let me tell you something. I'm going to shoot a little video for people that are in U.S. markets so you can understand what we're going to do to be able to help to keep people being able to move forward to protect your coins. That's what this is about. This isn't about me making Bitcoin. This isn't about Calais or Thaddeus or Trish or Mark. This is about none of us individually. The thing is, I remember in 2007 when a lot of my friends who had their money stuck in the stock market, when the housing market collapsed, I remember guys who were millionaires in June of 2007. 8, 9 months later, a lot of these guys, man, were already in foreclosure themselves. Some people were going homeless because of dirty derivatives. You know, nobody ever talks about the crooked things that these banking institutions do to rob you blind. Nobody ever talks about that. Nobody ever goes to jail for that. What they do is they want to come tell the little guy, you know what? Don't you dare go outside of my regular system and attempt to do anything on your own. Adam, you know what I'm talking about with that situation. Alberto, they're always trying to restrict the little guy, stop you from being able to get ahead. Whatever they can do to block you from getting 1 inch of progress, they'll bend on you to do it. But you have billionaire bankers, billionaires, who made trillions of dollars in transactions in phony paper, who didn't even get to go to court. So anybody's going to come to me even after this webinar and say, oh, DeVoe, I'm nervous. Let me tell you something. You weren't nervous when they putting your friends in foreclosure. You weren't nervous when they were kicking people out of their houses. The whole banking system was orchestrated behind all of that. So you got to have some power behind what you stand for. The platform's been paying us for a year. I'm telling you right now, some of you guys, some of us would never even had any Bitcoin probably at all if it wasn't for being introduced to this company. Some of us have moved into brand new homes, brand new cars, help relatives. Some people, I'm telling you, I do a lot to do stuff in the community. Homeless people, I like to go always to the food shelters, give away stuff. A lot of folks don't even understand this is allowing people to help thousands of individuals, some of which would have never been able to help themselves this past 12 months. So some of the things that we're going to have to do, of course, is, of course, there'll be some addresses that need to be taken care of, which is, I don't think is a big ordeal because you got to protect your coins. There are going to be situations where we're going to have to show folks how to actually set up VPNs. How do you work these network servers, which is a very simple thing to do to run a small network server in your machine. Just basically pressing a couple of buttons, right? And a good thing about a VPN, let me tell you what the value of a VPN is. For some of you who don't know, because there'll be somebody that'll say, oh man, well, why are we going to do this? A VPN, a lot of times, even for your own protection, okay? You have to understand something. The VPN is also going to do something for you that many of you are not doing right now, which is offer you extra security on your own computer. In fact, the fact that a person is even dealing with cryptocurrency, any Bitcoin at all, because I just finished completing a book. I just wrote a book on Bitcoin. I just completed it about a week and a half ago. I'm finalizing the intro right now. And what I talk about in that book is powerful, and it sort of relates to some of the things that we're discussing right now, because it covers some of the things that we are having to deal with right now as people that are involved in this business. I'm talking about the history of Bitcoin in the book. I talk about Bitcoin forks. I talk about what happened with Mt. Gox, why it is that you should have a VPN or a personal server, a rotational server running on your computer to help protect your IP address from hackers. There's another great thing about VPN. So we're going to put it in that context, that we're going to be helping you to protect your own things on your computer using that VPN. It's a very good thing to be able to utilize. Working with Bitcoin, Bitcoin mining, day trading, peer-to-peer lending. We're going to talk about, these are all things I'm covering in the book, but I also talk a lot about security, and why security better be your number one priority. You guys don't even know that last night, there was a cloud mining facility, I can't remember what location is at, that was hacked for $65 million worth of Bitcoin. $65 million. Now, the interesting thing about that is this. When you think about the fact that in the U.S. market right now, only 10% of the members of TCC are actually inside the United States, right? But you have to understand something. Hackers want Bitcoin more now than they want anything. Clay, am I okay on time? I'm not going too much, am I? Hackers want Bitcoin more than they want anything. So really running a VPN, we're just helping to protect ourselves because you're going to need to do several things. And I talk about that in the book. You should have a VPN. It's great to rotate your IP address to keep hackers off of your site. That's a great thing to be able to do. You should have that anyway. 2, you need to have a hard wallet. I can't tell you how many of you guys I'm nervous about who don't have hard wallets. That makes me nervous. Another thing you need to do, some of you who don't know how to do it, we'll do some trainings on that, but you need to download a full node of the blockchain. And it could take a couple weeks to do that. A lot of people don't know about that, but that's very good for you being able to secure your transactions and know what's going on the blockchain. But the third thing is this. If you don't have a hard wallet, if you don't have one of these devices, I implore you to go and get yourself a hard wallet. This was less than $100. Then you can secure your coins. And this is the new touch screen that I just got. I've been waiting 6 weeks for this to come from France. I just got that in the mail. But that's powerful. But we're going to be talking a lot about that so that especially people in the U.S. understand what you have possession of right now. And for folks who don't know about that hack, that sophisticated hack, that was actually from the company was called NiceHash. They're out of Slovenia. There's a Slovenian company. It's a Slovenian-based Bitcoin mining company. And this happened last night. They lost 4,700 Bitcoin overnight. And I guarantee you it was from a hole somewhere in their network or from some sloppy security preferences. And that's $64 million, $63.92 million at current market price. And that was with the price being, I believe, at what yesterday's rate was, which was like 13,000. So it's really probably closer to $80 million. They got swiped out overnight. So some of the things we're going to be talking about when we're saying we're going to maintain our businesses here is just showing you how to not only secure what you've already built up by being a member in the platform, but also how to protect what you've earned, you guys. What you have right now is only going to become more and more valuable in the future. Losing a Bitcoin today is a lot more painful than losing a Bitcoin 5 years ago. And there are guys who lost Bitcoin. I know a guy that lost Bitcoin 5 years ago. He's still looking for the computer now. I'm being honest with you. I got a guy that lives next door. This is a true story. Okay, I got to tell this. I ran into the guy in the store. He's listening to me on the phone talking about Bitcoin. He said, brother, 5 years ago, I had Bitcoin stored on one of my computers. He said, me and my wife got into an argument and the machine fell on the floor and the machine got damaged. So he said he tried to keep the machine so he'll go get the machine fixed so he can get his Bitcoin off of there eventually. But what happened was his son threw the machine out. And so he said that he doesn't know whether the machine got thrown into the garage or whether the son took it to his home or whether he threw it in the garbage. But 5 years later, now think about that. He's been talking about this for 5 years. So you guys got to know something. The Bitcoin is going to hit $20,000. Probably it could happen by tomorrow. It was pushing 20,000 today. We must maintain what we have. We will never get this opportunity that we're at today to be able to do what we're doing at this price rate where we're at right now. It's only going to get further and further out of most people's reaches. Getting one Bitcoin right now is going to become a humongous task for most people. And I believe soon for you to even get a Satoshi, and for people who don't know what a Satoshi is, that's 0.000000001 BTC. There will be people fighting to get a Satoshi, I believe, in the future. So we got to treat this thing like a baby, you guys. We really do. So Clay, that's what I got to say. And I'm hoping I didn't talk too much, but you know, this is.
You're good. Everybody always loves when you talk, you know. They learn stuff, you know, and I think that that's what's valuable about our leadership who's been around. We've learned a lot of things, you know. Just but building in year one in anything is a challenge, let alone Bitcoin and mentalities and perceptions and what they think people think they should have versus what people know they've earned. You know, it's a very daunting task for anybody.
Absolutely.
And then to add Bitcoin on it, it's very exciting on one end, and then there's, you know, opposite behavior patterns on the other end, because there's yeah, I want to win. There's abundance. And then there's others like, oh my God, I'm so scared. And what do I do? You gotta,
Yeah. Oh, let me add one thing to that. I'm so glad you said that Clay said that, because another thing for you guys, somebody asked that question when I was speaking. Clay's already spoken on the email. Keep in mind, you guys, the emails that are going out, and everybody didn't get the email. Some people got the email, right? The email is just giving you a warning, letting you know that we have until the 1st to prepare. That's 3 weeks from now.
31st. The 31st.
We can all be actually, 31st. We can actually prepare and be done with this, you guys, I believe, in just a few days, being honest with you. So they've given you an ample amount of time to prepare, which I appreciate that. You follow me? So we want to help as many people as possible to be able to find peace in knowing that nobody's out to steal your coins. Company isn't trying to pack up shop and run off with anything, because if they were, they're not going to warn you. Let me tell you something. Clay talked about this earlier. I've watched what happened when you're dealing with scrupulous ownership in some of these companies. I was in meetings. I saw people get carried out in handcuffs in some of these multi-level marketing businesses over the past 10 years. Let me tell you something. You know when you're dealing with crooks, because you don't get warning on anything. It's just over with. Are you with me? So you got to know when you have people that are really just trying to protect the baby. That's what I'm going to start calling this. They're just trying to protect the baby. That's all. We want the baby to keep getting coddled and still be all cute and beautiful in the business, right? You have to protect the baby at all costs. Sometimes you're going to have to do some diaper changes, some maneuvering, but you always want the baby comfortable. And that's what we have here. We have a beautiful little newborn. We got to protect this baby for as long as possible. Does that make sense? That's just proper business. So I just wanted to throw that in there. And I know for you guys, some of you guys are messaging me like crazy right now also about the system. Listen, I told you they're testing the leads right now in Utah. Everything's going to be beautiful. They're converting. I've been signing folks up all night, but I do have to follow proper protocol. Dave and the team are testing the leads right now. I'm hoping that maybe by tomorrow we will start unloading on you guys. But let me tell you something, baby. When I tell you that if you are in the funnel system, you got nothing to worry about, boss, because we're about to ravage all the Southeast Asia, West Coast of Africa. We have the best of the best, and people are spending monies, okay, with us. So these are converting, and it is marvelous right now. So don't worry, just be a little patient. Give us about another 24 hours tops, you guys. We're gonna be rocking and rolling. But go ahead, Clay. I'm sorry, I just had to throw that in there.
I want to go back over the emails and just to kind of re-go through that. And thank you, Antonio. I was like, okay, maybe he has to talk about that, but we'll come back to that. So, all new members, you got the email after December 1st that your account was suspended. VPN, register, okay? Old members, you can still log in even though you got that email that said your account suspended. I'm sure all of you have, the ones that have come to me, they've all come back and said, yep, I logged in, right? So that was the warning, the notification that Antonio just mentioned. And then I talked to Dover personally because I couldn't get answers from anybody else. And Dover was really prompt in getting back to me and calling me back. And so he said, for people who opt out after December 31st, or people who don't go in and pay attention, what's going to happen is if you are in the United States, you will get refunded back what you deposited minus any withdrawals. That's really good, you guys. For the people who don't want to continue, the people who choose not to continue to grow at TCC in the United States, that's what you can expect after January 1st, which is a really good thing. You know, it's better than Bittrex right now that just closed all the accounts down, right? No answer, okay? So I want to thank you guys for that continued patience. I have also requested, and I'm going to kind of draw some vision with you guys, for that the Hawaiian Nation to be added to the registration form. Okay. Antonio and I will talk about that in the future.
We're going to cover that. We're going to cover that.
Come back with that. Okay. So, Antonio just covered. So is that clear with you guys, everybody? Can you get a nod? Does that make sense, Chris?
Someone asked an excellent question there of us, and they may want to know what that is. A VPN, let me just say very clearly the actual definition there. A VPN means a virtual private network. I'm a computer scientist. I hate to go into that nerd stuff, but just a VPN is just how your machine is identified on a network, basically. That's what it's like. An IP, just like a locational situation, right? So what a VPN does is it basically makes you invisible from where you are. which is actually, believe it, in today's day and age, I believe a good thing. But go ahead, Claire. I just want to put that in there because that's that's a really important question.
Yeah. And then also you guys can YouTube and Google that, additional feedback from other people I always encourage people, go to Google, go to YouTube, Reddit, and then find out so that you're having to validate all of these different terms and come to agreements where you feel, confident or comfortable with them. The options VPN do you recommend? Tony, what VPN do you recommend?
I personally prefer Hide.me. Hide.me, I think, is really, really good. One is free for one version of it. So and it's not very difficult to use at all. And I'll do a live later in a recording showing how it actually is set up and actually show you guys how it's used, and I'll put that up as well.
Right. If I can say something. I have multiple devices in my house. I'm sitting here with 4 computers. Most of your VPNs only allow you to connect 3 or 4 devices. But if you have more like myself, what you can do, each VPN has what's called a firmware flash, where you can actually change the software of your router. So instead of connecting your VPN to each individual device, you can just protect your entire house if you flash your router. That's a more advanced version of protection. But if anybody wants information on that, you can reach out to me or any one of us that are involved in this. We can help you out with that.
Perfect.
Okay. So I'm going to repeat myself because, people asking question if I'm only in the first cycle. What's going to happen is if you choose not to continue to go forward, you will get your Bitcoin back minus whatever you withdrew. So you got to think about that, what that means, let it digest. Then you'll find out, okay, it's a good thing. Okay. Are we all clear about what just happened?
That's a great.
You okay with some of the options that we have available?
Yes. And if I can say this, I've never seen a company that had to do this that is being so giving as to what we're getting back if people decide to opt out. I don't know why anybody would, but if they do decide to, that is more than generous to get back everything. I mean, doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, because some could just close the door. I mean,
Right.
I'll just tell you guys something quickly. I can give you 5 or 6 examples where companies just closed their doors on a country and you didn't get a dime.
Oh, yeah.
And the company kept operating after that. I kid you not. I've seen that on
I can name one right now. They got 50 grand.
Yeah.
So 6,000 made 50 grand. Couldn't get anything out. They're still operating. They've changed names 3 times.
Yeah, the company is still out here operating in other countries. You'll see the owners out smoking stogies, flying around private.
Yeah, driving nice.
Yeah, and you won't see a dime. So the fact that they even saying they will refund folks, I mean, that's remarkable even in itself, because that just does not usually happen. It just doesn't usually happen like that, you guys. It just doesn't.
Never happens like that. Never.
Yeah, and I think that I've been around the guys, like none of them I feel like have ill intentions or want this to fail. They might not have a lot of answers to stuff. They might not be able to speak English clearly, but I can see them all fighting to keep this going, and to keep it pursuing. And so I can take what I can appreciate from them. We can discuss between our leaders what we kind of want to do to take recourse of action, and we'll always have for those of you guys who know me, you guys already know that I'm prepared way beyond the future. And if something did happen, that's one of the reasons why I always believe, we build our own things after we start getting capital. You start looking at other ways because you want to prepare, and you want people to trust you, and you want people to trust you, and want people to trust him. Like, this is not my company. This is not Tony's company. We're not the primary decision makers. And at the same time, we want to make sure that should anything happen, we'll always have a plan of action for our members, especially those that we are closest with, especially those that have built a relationship with us. We will try to help everybody, but it's hard to help everybody. It's hard to help everybody. You can only do so much as one person. So the Hawaiian Nation is going to be something I've requested to be added. That's very important for those of you guys, because as we roll out, you guys will see a lot of information coming about Hawaii and what's happening, and their coin and the Aloha coin and the white paper, because a lot of countries have gone through genocide. A lot of cultures have gone through genocide. A lot of things have happened in the past, and there really hasn't been any justice on a lot of levels for people. That's why we see a lot of cultures still fighting with each other, a lot of religious people still fighting with each other, things of that nature. But here, we are believed in that we will bring unity to the world because we have a white paper of justice, because everything that exists on top this land by the jurisdiction of the state is false. And so being able to incorporate a nation, to govern a nation, to be a part of going to the United Nations, to speak on behalf of a people where there's so many Americans, because I love everyone around the world that I built friendships with, right? I would never want anything bad to happen to the people in the USA, and I would never want anything bad to happen to the people in Japan. I'd never want anything bad to happen to the people in South Korea, right? So, in Hawaii, there is going to be new things that roll out, kind of like Vanuatu. So you guys can look up that and kind of get an idea where we're going with this. But people here I can put Hawaii as a nation. Anybody living here can sign up, get identified, and go. Keep on moving forward and keep on persevering with TCC and other companies, right? Okay, so that's an update. And then, okay, so I want to briefly go through this again. YT members should be added to the group, guidelines of the group behavior, what happens if people are negative, rude, or non-agreeable in the group. So as you guys all know, we've been in different communications chat. We're teaching, we're learning how to be responsive, not reactive. And in the TCCT mega group, of course, we want to have all of the people who want to know, want to learn, come to the group. But like I said earlier, there's a certain way to keep the moderation level of the energy positive without having to destroy everything and people freaking out. And so we don't get booted out of the group. I don't go, oh man, this guy's so stupid, I would kick him out of the group. That's never the intention or how I look at it. I look at it and say, okay, I've suggested this. See, they're not being respectful. Let's get them out of the group. And when they come talk to me again later, if they're talking respectfully, then I can add them back in the group because we're back in agreement again. And I think that's fair for everybody, especially when you're growing a network of people. The last thing that you want is somebody who's having a bad day or having one experience that all these other people aren't having, and then go in and make everybody freak out. Antonio?
I just wanted to say touche to what you just said, because listen, some folks, again, you guys, I have watched, let me tell you why I really, really do respect Calais. I have watched some of the things that people have said to her. And let me tell you guys something. I'm from Chicago, right? Don't let me get you confused. Some of the things that I hear people say in some of these chats is so disrespectful, man, that if I would have been in somebody's presence, I don't know what would have happened to you. So I think the kindest thing she's done on occasion is to remove some folks. And then she has allowed some people to come back. That's unbelievable, just how kind she has been to a lot of individuals. So again, remember, me and Clay, we don't own the company. We didn't make the company. We're not partners with the company. We just like you. We just representatives of the company. But we just have a lot of passion for the people, you see. That's what's making some leaders stick out a little bit more. It's just that factor. But I have to say that she has been very diplomatic and very friendly and very helpful to more people than I think perhaps that she should have even been in the first place. But that just goes to show you about the character of Calais and how it is that she's been able to get to the point where she is. That's what people say, well, man, she's made a lot of cool. She deserves every damn penny that she's earned in my mind, because I believe that for those individuals who stick their necks out and put in the work, they should be rewarded, I believe, fruitfully for that. You follow me? But that just tells you just how much abundance there is in this particular system, because of the fact that we do have a system of abundance. And I know that Calais will talk about that. You understand? The system of abundance is screaming for all of us to have 10,000 Bitcoin or more each. Can everybody accept and realize that? I believe the system of abundance, Chris, Trish, and other folks, is calling for us to have 10,000 Bitcoin apiece. And I'll leave it alone with that. I'll go back. It's just what I believe.
At least.
Okay.
So really, like, if I could have help with the other members who are the admin, if you guys see this stuff, I mean, a lot of hands make for light work. And there's a lot of people who are sharing with me personally, like all the events that are going in the Philippines and Korea and Japan. So if you're an admin and you're a team leader, if you want to just, put up results or recognition for people, or, if you're helping people and they come back to you like, Chris did with Dale, and there's a lot more people, but this is the most recent one because I see Chris on here right now. Let people know. Like, we don't have to hype it up. We don't have to be all money driven, but every time that one good piece of information comes out, it totally builds proof, like, without having to hurt, attack, or do anything negative to anybody else who might not believe as intensely or see the results as intently. That you're the person that gives people hope. Every little story of success, gradually creates an avalanche of success for more people, which enables you to feel more confident moving forward. So that's kind of how I'm going to run the group, the TCCT mega group. So if you have people that have, either were removed because they were rude or not in the group yet, just let them know kind of how we operate the group, and then, add them in there, and then they'll get to see like a replay like this, right? We can keep them updated and inundated with the information moving forward. I just want to encourage people to use words of kindness and to have composure, and thinking that everything is working out for you. You took a risk. We took lots of risks, because most of us here have multiple businesses. We have multiple things that we're a part of. That's another thing that I want to talk to you guys about. Don't jeopardize, like, I was a part of, as a single mom, 2 kids, helped build a company, was doing really, really well. And then I decided to branch off into other things that I believed in. And I developed them, and I came in, watched it crash. Marianne was a part of that, right? Brought it back way stronger before. Chris Sizemore is a part of that. Thaddeus is a part of that. Okay, but now, what I learned during this time was people are going to take risk, and they're going to diversify, and that's what they decide to do with their money and their time, right? And it's not up to somebody to go tattletale on somebody else unless it's malicious, right? And so I've seen stuff like that happen. It happened to me here in TCC after China. Okay, like, if for some of you, like, I've literally lost 52 Bitcoin because of other network marketers in the company reporting me for a sale that I did or a purchase that I did with my Porsche, right? That's what other network marketers do to other leaders. You need to be very, I encourage everybody to have multiple income streams. I encourage everybody to stay focused on what's working really, really well. For me, majority of this team I have is international. And for them, they don't even need me, right? They don't even need me, but they also are not going under the same type of, they don't have to deal with the same type of regulation that we have to. And we want to commend them for that. We want to keep them winning, because that keeps everything growing. That helps more people grow. And then, I think that it's wise for us to practice practice becoming permanent or perfecting the behavior of a successful person, right? When I left network marketing, I went to YouTube and, John C. Maxwell, right? For existing members, we have a VPN and do anything with the docs. So for now, Liz, what I understand for now, and then we'll continue to update you about this for your question. For existing members, once we have VPN, do we need to do anything with our documents country on the site? Okay, so Antonio, you want to kind of talk about addresses and stuff? For now, you're just gonna change your address. Stephen Watson said it was very simple. He's a dual citizen. So he said he just logged in and changed it. He didn't have to submit any other documents or anything like that.
You can actually add, and what you're really doing right there, all you have to do, you guys, you go into your back office and you can add an additional address. You just need to go in there and add an additional address to your back office. You can actually do that under the profile button as well. It's not a very difficult thing to be able to do. And so that is the pretty easy part. I will record the video showing how to actually set up the VPN. I will do that later today. And I want it to be perfect, so give me a little bit. Give me till tomorrow to complete. I may do it even on a live. Actually, I'm going to do 2 things. I'm going to record that video, but then, I don't really get on Facebook Live very often. I've only done it once or twice with Clay, so people sort of crack up when I do it. I guess I don't know whether it's out of the fact that I barely ever do it that it gets a much better response, but it seems like people get a real riot. Oh, my little friend. People get a real riot when I actually go on there. For some reason, they listen to me sometimes. It's funny. You're never a prophet in your own town, but everybody else wants to hear what you have to say. Because I tell you, right here in Chicago, they don't want to hear anything I got to say. I talk so much. But I will record a video showing how to set up the VPN. But for your wallet, to set up your address chain, it's very easy. Just go in and add an additional address. It'll get all your information, your address, your country code, all that stuff in there. You can put your country code that you want to, whatever country code you want to use in there as well. I just think that that's going to be the easiest mode for individuals for right now to be able to really keep themselves in the game. Because again, remember, you have started something that I would promise you're going to want to complete as well. So that's what we'll do. And by tomorrow, we'll definitely have a video up for showing you how to actually use the VPN. And I will say in there that it will be the prize, or the subject matter will basically say to be able to provide security for yourself on your own computers and in your own systems to basically set up and use a virtual private network. What you think about that, Thaddeus?
Oh, I love it, man. I think virtual private networks are the way to go. I've been using
Absolutely.
one
Absolutely.
several years now.
Yes.
Absolutely love it. Yes. And they're very inexpensive. Like you said, there's some out there for free. And then there's some you can get upgraded versions for $10, $12 a month. Very inexpensive and can save you a lot of money.
Clay, I have a question.
Yeah.
So if we update our address, are we going to have to provide another identification or something?
At this point, no. And that's why I also don't want to be left out of the group. I don't want this video to be out of the group.
Correct. Correct. You say that again. We want to be very clear about that. We don't want folks around. That's why I'm being very careful about how I do my recording, because the last thing I want to be trying to do something out of the kindness of my heart and have it come back later on the butt, bite me, when I could have just I could have just did my own and not worried about anybody else. It's very important, you guys. We're trying to help our group maintain what they have. You see, we don't have to do that, but we want you guys to be able to maintain what you've already taken into your possession, right? So we got to be careful with the way we do business. One thing I will tell you, I love being in the United States, but sometimes you almost hate it at the same time, because there's just so much shenanigans you have to deal with in order to be able to do business. It's just becoming almost impossible to do business here. I mean, I just came back from Manila. It was so easy to do business in the Philippines. It was just mind-boggling. I said, my God, it's like my own government seems like they don't want me to win. And that just seems crazy to me, that a country with all of this money wants you to basically start slaving yourself and not be able to go with new modern technology, and at the same time try to, they want to basically try to criminalize everything that's really just common sense. Every single person should be able to build and develop and work in the crypto space. I believe it's just honest and open communication of work and value. That's all cryptocurrency really is. It's going back to a handshake. You say you're going to do something, you shake hands, you walk off. I like that. Chris says, oh, Tony, I'm going to send you a tool over to your house. It gets there at 9 o'clock. The tool is there. I say, okay, Chris is here. And I send him the coin. This is how things should be done. Everything should happen on a word. I shouldn't need to go signing a whole bunch of paperwork and doing documents and getting these crackpot lawyers that work in these dirty. It's the lawyers and the bankers all just crooks together. You ask me. I'm being honest with you. It just seems like they got a whole kind of rigged system that's all designed to suck all the capital from the people and keep it amongst themselves and keep you under heavy taxation. That's like slavery. It's like a new age of slavery out here with that. That's why the old system has to be just completely wiped down, because you just can't maintain that kind of thievery. They said that 85% of the world's wealth is basically in the hands of less than like 1,000 people. That's insane to me. That's such a small amount of people controlling so much resource. Like, how do you bust that open? How do you break that free? With crypto. That's how you got to do it. You got to do it through blockchain technology. Take it back to the people. Keep it open and honest. Instead of behind the Federal Reserve and these dirty little hidden little books and stuff off the books, put it out on the blockchain so everybody can see the transaction. I like that.
Yep. Well, and this is all like, for us, it's a lot of learning, because you have to go from, I've been so programmed to keep on doing what I was doing. And then, what happens is that you start to validate and verify your own. And it's very different, because at first you're like, okay, maybe, I made a mistake, damn it, or those are all things. That's why we become more accurate. We become accurate in our transactions. We become more accurate in our language, how we express things, how we identify things, how we put things into perspective for people. Because that's where all the confusion lies, right? in all the words from the system. But it's really interesting. Like Chris could probably tell you, you know, coming into the space, because I think Chris has been around BIC for like 2 or 3 years already, at the very least. And we have become, those of us who've been here through other, you know, parts of time early on, we just, there is like a freedom. There is like life back. There is like, you know, all of a sudden you thought 20 years, you know, making $1 million in 20 years would be great too. Making $1 million a month is happening for some people, right? But it's, you become the pavement. Like Chris, like, you know, like you're not going to give up on Bitcoin, right? You're in the United States.
Correct. Yeah, I'm not giving up. No way.
Yeah, me neither. No way.
You know?
You
And so for the
mentioned,
people who are,
you mentioned something
What?
about withdrawing earlier, and I was thinking, I wish the withdrawal system would have been broken so I couldn't take out my Bitcoin. I cashed out too much.
You know what's funny about what he just said? When you look at the Bitcoin that you may have given away or sold to help other folks, and you look back at the price today, you look back at what you earned, and you say, my God, if I would have been holding those coins. I understand that moniker when they have that HODL, you know, hold on for dear life. I really understand what that means right now.
Like Tracy and I paid off most of our debt. We redid our house. So we did some really awesome things, but I keep thinking, man, if we would have just waited 4 years.
and you know what, Chris, would you not have paid the 8% anyways to get your money out of the system if you had to do it that way? Nobody cares. When you have more money than, this is what's so crazy about people. Like when you start learning, like you have this extra, you're just like, you know, like I paid fees, right? 8%, I paid fees for some of my Bitcoin. The other ones I became the bank. I helped, you know, like I don't feel bad about helping give back over 500 Bitcoin to the people from my team in year one. I don't feel bad at all. I know that I helped other people participate in an opportunity which they never would have had, or even got Bitcoin that which they would have never had growing for them in value, and or making more Bitcoin, and or going a membership base, making way more Bitcoin, right? So I don't feel bad, but there are times that I do. I think, and I said, well, let me go do the math. And I think to myself, you know, 500 times 15,000.
Yep.
Hey, you know what? I don't feel bad about what I've, you know, but, you know, 500, I didn't even have that many coins up until like probably April, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, you know, you're thinking to yourself, all right, you still got to help more people because Bitcoin's low. Bitcoin's low. Bitcoin's still low. But you know what's so crazy about now? All the people that are going to come, I watch and I observe people. Nobody's going to get into the program. Bitcoin's going to get. That's a lie too. Let me tell you something. The bankers are the next people to move on right now. Are you kidding me? You got to help a lot of little people. Now you get to help the, you know, other people that are now, oh gosh, but it's going to make that market cap go up. It's going to make all those little people's value go up. It's going to make all the big people's value go up. And everybody comes in at that time when they believe that it was an option to come in. I had a guy that called me yesterday. Hey, you know, I have a friend that wants to do this. She's going to buy my car. So, you know, she's not going to do it for 2 weeks. Can she get the Bitcoin from me today? I'm like, no.
It's funny you said that.
No, she cannot.
Today I had.
But it wasn't because I wanted to
Every
be
day.
mean. It's because,
Every day.
you know, everybody who's done, you know, transactions or had to go to a Coinbase or had to go to CoinMe and BuyCoins.pro, everyone had to make that transaction. They need to see when they made that decision and they got started, because that's, if somebody throws them a bone all the time, right? They might be happy, they might not understand, right? But then was that really their time? Time is when they get it. The time is when they decide. The time is when they believe it, then they become intrinsic. The time is when that's when they start sharing it and they advocate it. And I'm sorry, but TCC has paid. There has been there's over 1,000 millionaires in the company. Okay, just in this team alone, there's a couple hundred, right? And then people say, well, what about the little people? The little people make money, but they're just not looking at it like they make money.
I think you have to say that again. Because I don't think that there's any company ever really in history that was able to say what you just said in 11 months. This thing isn't even 12 months old yet. Can you say that one more time? Because I think that when you hear that,
psychologically, after you've heard it a couple of times, it's breezing through your ears, right? Say it one more time, though, so that people can understand why you must continue to protect the baby like this. Not just for the bear, but look how fast it's changed lives. Most people can't save $1 million in 20 years.
Well, and what is so crazy is, people who earned over 100 Bitcoin how many months ago that held on, right? They didn't spend anything. They're millionaires now. It's astonishing. They're almost 2 millionaires. Like their coins are worth almost $2 million. And there is over, just in this team alone, I know there's a couple hundred millionaires. There's over 3,000 that I'm aware of 6-figure earners. That's life-changing.
Valid.
That is life-changing. That's just in this team. This isn't Team Mega. So
wait a minute. Did you just say that on our team there are more than 200 millionaires?
Brother.
Is that what you just?
Oh yeah.
And it's been less than a year. 200 million.
It's barely been 11 months. I don't even know if it's even 11 months. Even 11 months, it might be 10 months and some change.
But it's, for me, December 19th is my annual renewal.
Wow.
So,
Unbelievable.
Wow.
So that's why I keep telling everyone, it doesn't matter if you're an apprentice or it doesn't matter if you're a senior trader. If you want to make more Bitcoin, you're going to want to get into a program like this.
Right.
You're just going to want to, because the value of Bitcoin is going to keep on going up. And, you're earning more Bitcoin in your Bitcoin. Now, the T-Coin thing, I'm not going to even talk about right now.
Let's leave that alone.
Again.
Let's stick with the international baby.
If I can see the white paper and all of them, then I'll go ahead and talk about it. But for people internationally, it's not an issue for them.
It's all you. You have it. Oh, and let me say something on top of that for purposes. If you are in the United States, and let me tell you something, and a lot of people are falling for the okie doke for this. You want to get the heat on your butt cheeks, get the Star Food around and promote some ICOs. I guarantee you that's considered to be a securities instrument, and I guarantee you they have special types of handcuffs that they're going to be looking for folks talking that ICO business. Well, I'm telling people don't
talk about this.
I don't even want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about it. In the U.S., don't even talk to me about it. Talk to me about when I land someplace else. But don't call me about it. I don't want to hear the call. I'm happy right with that BTC. I'm sleeping like a baby. You understand? I'm good. Chris, you just redecorated your house. I'm sure you're waking up wealthier every day with the BTC. They don't need to add nothing more than what it already was. The BTC was good enough for me.
Yeah. It's going to be good enough for a lot of people. And that's the reality. And so I just won't talk about it. If people get it, that's your own discretion. I would just advocate not publicly promoting it. That's just, until we identify it, we can talk wisely about it. I think that's the best route that the leadership's going to take. And I hope you guys can all appreciate that.
Okay, great. I would like.
I think we covered everything.
Yes, we have been running for an hour and 29 minutes. Yes, we've been on for an hour and a half.
The whole time Antonio's counting money.
I don't think I'm going to do any editing because I didn't see anything and we need to edit out. So I'm just going to let it run. As soon as it processes, I'm going to, if everybody's okay with that.
Okay, I have a couple more announcements, and thank you for letting us know how long it's been, because I could go for hours. But there's a couple of updates for our team. The funnel is accessible, so there are certain members who already are participating. Thank you, Antonio, for basically coming together and working with me on this. I know it's unbelievable. I know that some of the people who have been able to do some stuff is just like, okay. The second thing is, all of you will be able to get that, and I would encourage you guys, if you have Bitcoin, that you do, because that will take your having to concern maybe about network marketing or talking to people in your circle. You just become a professional over the phone and you close deals with the membership. You get paid. Imagine in the binary what's going to happen. I have really positioned a lot of people to win on this, because there's a lot of people that already bought the funnel, and we're going to run advertising through the funnel. There's ebooks and things like that you can hand out for free, so people can learn like how to hacker-proof their Bitcoin. Antonio's book will probably be up there too. Things of that nature. What else? Oh, Kathy. And this is just, again, this is for our team. When you get into the bigger spaces and you see what's happening in some of the other places, you think about building your own exchanges. So we already have those things underway. So, you know, people will be able to buy Bitcoin from the exchange, probably at lower fees that they can get anywhere else. Currently, I use CoinMe at buycoins.pro, and you can use Bitcoin Calais as a referral code if you need to get Bitcoin from there legitimately, per se, okay, from a bank wire. You guys can go and do that. And so the exchanges will come, which will help us get more Bitcoin. And that's usually the bottleneck with any business in the Bitcoin spaces. That's why it was such a great thing in the beginning. Like, I use so much of my Bitcoin to help other people, because you know there's a bottleneck and there's fees and there's this and there's that and this, and that's all normal. It's all relative to what's happening right now. So it'll be nice to be able to fund more people's accounts correctly, and have another source, because you're going to want to have multiple sources, and that's why we're doing multiple exchanges. And we'll go about showing you guys how to do that. Also, there's a couple of partners of mine, and we created a cryptocurrency card, kind of like a BitPay and a Shift card. And so we're beta testing it right now for some people. It's going to be less than what a Coinbase or a Shift card, Shift or a BitPay card costs. And then they'll be able to have multiple coins stored on there. There's going to be a way. You'll be able to convert multiple coins, you know, all the way until fiat dies, and then you'll have more. Because it's gonna happen. I'm sorry, you guys. I just, you know, for me, it's no longer like, is it gonna happen? No. For decades, people have been talking about it. That's where the bubble is gonna lie. That's my personal opinion and perspective based on what I know. That's why I switched from going, yeah, I want fiat all the time, to, oh heck no, just give me the crypto, right? People come to me like, you want to trade Forex? Nope. I trade crypto. Like, nope. I don't want to do any of that. Give me the crypto. So just know that you guys are all very appreciated. And sometimes, you know, we've kind of did this thing like an online marketing way. You know, we've all had an accelerated rush of success in a short period of time, and which also had an accelerated success of misunderstanding on some levels, which then comes with an accelerated of trying to answer questions. And so now I kind of feel really good about everything moving forward into 2018, being able to give people, you know, just come back and listen to us, because we're the ones who are going to be able to communicate it. Even good, bad, the ugly, the happy, you know, you want to know that there's going to be somebody who can communicate to your teams, you know, and relevance. And then also for us to continue to practice improving. We feel confident in, you know, talking about it with other people. But
Absolutely.
just, Anton, you just don't claim anything. You do it. I would just recommend not promoting it publicly in the United States, the T coins.
I would tell you,
Just be smart. Just be wise.
Be smart, because we're telling you right now, if you want to make some heat for yourself, start promoting an ICO, and I can promise you're going to change your whole entire holiday for yourself, because it's one of those things they're going to clamp down on that first, because they're saying that is something that they really know is providing a real Ponzi scheme apparatus right now. Is people coming up with these Fugazi coins. You know, they're taking a lot of people's money. These places are shutting down really quickly, and people are losing millions, perhaps billions, with these corny ICO propositions right now. You better be careful. It's too close to the holidays for monkey business, if that makes sense. Nobody wants to lose easy money like that. Calais, this is marvelous. This is went online. I will tell you guys, a lot of you guys, I know, because some of you guys are still messaging me right now about the funnel. They can say, tell us more about the funnel. You will be getting your leads. I am praying on this. Listen, put it this way. I am not holding up anything right now. When Calais gives me the go-ahead, when I get the go-ahead from the office and they say, turn it on, you will start receiving your hits within 24 hours. There's no doubt about that. And let me tell you something. There's something powerful about these leads. Let me just say something. I got on the phone with one guy last night, and we get, because we have the information for each one, right? We tell you how much Bitcoin they want to invest, whether or not they have a Bitcoin wallet. So it leads the conversation perfectly. That's actually the guy say you want to do 5,000. The guy said, yeah. He said, I didn't know you were going to call back so quickly. I love a call like that where he's waiting for me to call him to get him set up. That was beautiful, man. Now imagine you building volume in your binary like that, and you have a superb funnel system like what Clay's put together. You guys, this is beyond the ATM machine. You got the accelerated price of the coin. You're working with amazing leadership. You're getting the best leads on the planet that in the highest demand because cryptocurrency supersedes everything, including fiat money right now. And you're working with an amazing team that wants to see you win. What else can you ask for besides that? You know what I'm saying? That's really what every single person that's an entrepreneur is looking for, is people that can bring the real deal to the table. And we got the real deal right now, folks. This is what is it supposed to be. So give us 24 hours. Like I said, they're testing today, but I can assure you this, you will not be disappointed with the product. What we're going to put out for your hands, I can guarantee you, you're going to be talking to people that are about Bitcoin lifestyle. So that's a beautiful thing. So that's going to be exciting.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that hopefully that answers everybody's question, that alleviates some concerns. Again, you know, people can go into the Facebook group and they can comment their team members' names so that they can review the video if they missed it. You know, we want to get into a habit of helping people. Oh my God, there's more people. Hey, how have you been? What's going on with Bitcoin? How have you been? I mean, like,
now, will you,
like, okay, I'm about giving them the funnel now. I'm like, here you go. Like, I don't even got time to talk to you. Like, so just,
yeah, oh, you got,
let me get half coin. Let me get everybody rocking and rolling over here. I'll be back to you in about 2 months. Okay, no, just
this is going to be beautiful for you guys. And we will, when I do the live, we will do a live also, you guys. Well, another thing we're going to start doing, Kalei, a lot of people have been asking me for closing techniques. So when I go live and I start doing some live calls later on today, I'm going to ask Kalei to allow me to try to see if they can connect it to Team Mega also so people can hear and see in real time, because nobody does that.
You totally can. That's what I did the other day with a sign up with Lon over the phone, right? Because it's like Grant Cardone-ism, right? I love Grant Cardone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you guys, say something in the chat. Would you guys be interested in that if I was doing some live calls to put people into the business? Would you guys be interested in seeing that to see how you actually talk to folks actually?
Hell yes. Hell yes. Yes, look at that. Yes, yes,
oh,
yes.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay. I want to be in peace. You never heard enough from me today. All right. Well, a few people on there. All right. Curious.
So yeah, just what I would do, Antonio, just maybe put like a post up in advance, like an update, you know, going live at, TCC Team Mega. Don't you want your team in the group watching how to close?
Makes sense. Makes sense.
That's what we want. We want them to see that it takes work.
Hey.
Right? I don't want
Absolutely.
to just close. Right? Oh man. Close deal. Stop. It's your life on the line. I already know how to close the deal. No, thank you, Antonio, and thank you, Thaddeus. And you know, we have so many highly skilled people in the team. So you know, for those of you that feel like there's something valuable that you want to share, or you know, share a testimonial, please, if you're admin or if your team member wants to do that, you know, let them do that. You know, because it's nice to see other people excited. And here, a lot of us aren't here for the recognition. A lot of us are here like, we see the system works.
Yep.
System works. If you work the system works.
Sure does.
And it's documented.
Absolutely.
That's even more important. She's not telling you that people have made mistakes. This is documented, you guys. We just said history. Like, we talked about this yesterday, Clay. You guys don't even know it. Some of you guys are going to be living legends in this. You don't even realize it right now. There are living legends that are on right now.
Right here in this meeting.
Right now.
Right here, right now.
Bill Gates, the next Warren Buffetts some of them are sitting in these webinars with you. You don't know where somebody's going to take this thing to. They're going to be people. They said the Winklewright brothers just broke $1 billion, but there's a whole bunch of people that are quiet billionaires, I believe, already in Bitcoin. They just aren't saying anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Believe that. They're not the first ones. I don't believe that for a second. So, yeah.
They're the first ones that went public.
First ones that went public.
Yeah.
That they're billionaires. But there are a lot of folks sitting on a lot of private islands right now. A lot. A lot.
All right. Anything else? I think we're good.
All right. I'm going to stop the
we're good.
recording.
Thank you, you guys.
You're welcome.